Let's take a look at our last game so far that I have links for to get caught up on. As we mentioned, it is a stunning move against Legend. We've got Crossfire, we've got You Cannot Hide Forever, and Where Are Those Droidicas? So in round one, we saw Kieran playing a stunning move kind of main style deck. This is not that deck. We're going to see the Destroyer Droid version. We'll just recap real quick what these effects do. So this one is the non-uniques are deploy -1, forfeit +1, and while all your characters are Destroyer Droids or Nemodians, their characters are defense value -1 for each droid present to a minimum of 3. So your forfeit can't be reduced below 3, and actually your defense value can't be reduced below 3, and if it happens to already be 3 or less, it gets reset by this minimum. So actually, like Chewie becomes defense value 3, which is weird that it actually goes up. I think the way that's how that works, the way it gets set there. Then you've got Crossfire, which says if you just fired 2 weapons except lightsabers, your total power is +5. So you got your Destroyer droids who fire 2 weapons at people and then add 5 to your total power. So 2 droids, power 6, +5 is 11, plus a Battle Destiny. And if you have the right combination of droids or Newt Gunray, you get extra Destiny. So you can get 2 or 3 Destiny and have pretty solid power, and it's pretty good at picking off main characters because of the defense value reduction. All right, and this will be our last game. We're going to catch up on the evening. Thank you guys for sticking it out for the 2 hours thus far. This game should be a bit more interactive and hopefully a bit faster than our previous match. We'll end on a high note. All right, so a stunning move. He's going to pull the bridge, and he pulls the docking bay. And now he's going to throw a droid to one site and a droid to the other site, and then I'll probably move with the guy. So the guy follows anybody who has player controls this site. They can have him follow their first character to move using land speed. So he follows the Droidica guy, and the objective says that you can deploy non-unique this droid. So the regular destroyer droids do not have the separatist icon, so you can't pull those using the objective. You can pull the Droidicas though, the virtual ones. All right. Justin's going to send Leia back and pick up Finn. He's starting strike planning, Walkling, and a Brave Resistance there. He's going to go get the site, see if he's got Luke. He's going to get the Maz's Castle site as well. He's going to deploy his Episode 7 Luke. So Luke subtracts 2 from power until you decide to put him out of play, which will also come in handy at some point when he decides to do that, because that prevents weapons from being fired by Darkseid during the battle, which then means they can't get their +5 power or do any of that silly stuff, any of the other interrupt cards that they like to play, like Wounded Warrior or any of that stuff. He's going to get the Invisible Hand Bridge. He's going to deploy the third droid over to that site. And Justin's going to pull the Yavin Sentry Shield just to make him pay extra for some of these guys. Now he'll Docking Bay Transit, and that'll flip the objective, and then we'll get to look at the flip side of a stunning move. It has several benefits to it. So, immunity to attrition, Jedi starships vehicles is limited to less than 5. That can certainly come into play. During your control phase, if with your separatist character and Insidious Prisoner are together, they lose a force, so that'll happen because of the Droidica. Once during your turn, search your force pile, reveal any one card, reshuffle. Opponent can lose 2 force. You put that card on the bottom of your used pile, or you get to take it into hand. So you're basically showing a card to your opponent and saying, hey, do you want me to have this in my hand? If not, lose 2 force. He takes rolling, rolling, rolling. His opponent says fine. And then he will go ahead and draw to pick up the rest of the cards he's looking for. Most importantly, probably that sniper. P60 is not bad either, but the sniper's pretty big. And luckily it didn't get shuffled to the bottom. Legend feels strong, especially with the other nerds. Oh, typo, nerfs. Well, nerds or nerfs, it's pretty strong either way. Certainly a very complex and complicated deck to play. A lot of moving parts to it, but it certainly can be a very strong deck. All right, so light side's going to stack up a bunch of guys. They've got Ray, Rose, and Solo together. Solo plus Ray equals extra battle destiny. Ray with lightsaber swings and hits people, and as we just saw, Rose does nothing except retrieve a whole lot of cards. She also sends Finn used, and we saw him already take Finn into hand. Finn deploys as a react for free to Ray, and then Rose sends him used, so there's a whole circle of life thing going on there. Obviously, light side will put Luke out of play and flip the objective to prevent the first weapon thing from going, sequence of weapons from happening for dark side. So dark side takes O switch off though, which will stop Ray. All right, Luke's going to get the force projection as well. So now we're going to get to see all the moving parts here of both decks. There's P60. There's Droideka. There's Newt Gunray. And will we get the other droid? Yep, there's the regular destroyer droid. So we got a whole lot of things going on here. So let's take a peek and let's break it down. So you got Newt Gunray. If with your Republic character or character with Trade Federation in lore, he adds a battle destiny. That's a May, so it's declared action. Make sure you do that. Trade Federation in lore. That would be your droids here, Trade Federation. While with another droid, he draws one if unable to otherwise. Droideka here says, while with another droid at a site, he adds a battle destiny. Which these guys are all the battle droids, so he's adding 1. Newt is adding 1, so that's 2. You've got 4 abilities, so that's 3. And P60 here says, well, with the destroyer droid at a site, adds a battle destiny, so now you're up to 4. That's 4 battle destiny draws, plus the power, plus all the weapons and stuff like that you would normally get to do. Now the weapons will get canceled because of the legend objective, 1 time only. He could also use the Master Destroyer cards here. Target a character. Remainder of turn. Target may not fire weapons and is power -2. So after he flips, puts Luke out of play, he could play this to stop Ray from using the weapon, so that way Ray can't hit Newt Gunray. He's going to play it before the battle. I would always prefer to do it as a weapons phase action. Just make it out of your first weapons phase action. Stop your opponent, just to make sure the battle goes through. He doesn't have something I can't imagine what he would have with no force, but hey, you never know. So no weapon firing for light side. No weapon firing for dark side. They both have 12 power. They're both drawing multiple battle destinies. Finn's going to go get a blaster proficiency. And now we're going to see just exactly what happens here. The dark side deck should be just a big pile of good-sized destinies here. 3, 4, 5s. He had a lot of good cards when he verified the reserve deck. He could easily draw 4 4s. There's a 5, so he's already up pretty good. His opponent's going to make him redraw that. That's the other thing that happens with the flip side. But we know he's got a big pile of pretty good stuff in there. that becomes a 3. And he's got one more left, and it's another 4. So that would give him a total of 15. He's going to force projection. Luke is out of play. Draw and subtract that from opponent's total. I'm starting to lose my voice here. Excuse me. All right, so he draws a 2. That cuts it down to 13. 13's not bad. 13 is Solo and Finn will go used. Pardon me. And Lightside draws a 9. And we already saw him take the Sorry About the Mess into hand. So he's going to lose Newt. Rose will send Finn used. He'll lose one of the droids. And there goes Solo. We expect that we'll see Justin play the Sorry About the Mess here and try and pick off one of the droids if he doesn't run away. He is going to move away, it looks like. He does have the O switch off to at least cancel that, but of course Justin could have a sense or something, so he's just going to wisely move away. And he's going to document transit one of the other droids over as well. So he's going to leave 2 droidicas guarding the prisoner and put 3 guys down over there. Now, Justin does get the drain for 3 here, and the retrieval will be canceled because of Coward. But it's a drain of 2, plus then there's a drain of 1 because of the objective, because he's got 2 resistance characters together. And we get to see After Her, which is a card we don't get to see played all that often. Opponent just drained you at a location. Deploy on that location. Their force drains are +1, but your Battle Destiny draws are +1. And if you end up controlling that location, you can put it used to retrieve 4 force. So this would now become a drain of 4, but we assume these guys are going to move their way back over next turn. And now he's adding, the same 3 Battle Destiny, or 2 Battle Destiny here, because this guy adds and this guy adds. So we draw in 2 Destiny, and each draw would be +1. If he finds the right combination of cards and stuff again, he could obviously, get back up to 3 or 4 Destiny. All right, there's Obi going out wide, and he's going to drop in honor of the Jedi as well. And now he'll use the objective, and he'll peek. He moves those cards to his force pile, and now he draws them. He drew a leadership. He'll use the leadership and take Leia into hand. And now he'll draw a couple more cards. There's a rescue. There's a lot of cycling. There's a lot of moving cards. There's a lot of manipulation. It's an incredibly complicated deck. And if you're playing it at a major tournament where you're playing 4 games and 4 light side, 4 dark side games, by game 6, 7, 8, when you need to play your best and you're playing against stronger competition, usually, the mental fatigue of having to play this type of deck throughout the day can certainly take a toll on you as well. So I feel like that's why we may not see Legend dominate a lot of majors. It may be a good day 2 deck, but just the mental fatigue over, it's 11 to 12 hours when you're playing a live major tournament. It's 8 games. Rounds always run a little long. Sometimes you don't quite get enough time to get some food in there, so by the end of the day, you can really be, running on fumes. All right, so big pile of droids move on over, and he's going to redraw some cards here. Try and build his hand back up. He's got the sniper. He's got the O switch off. He's looking for like a Newt gun ray, of course. Gick is always helpful. Excuse me. There's Roland. That'll pull some droids out of the deck. He's got 2 Lord Mauls in there. Okay. And now that he occupies the 2 battlegrounds because of Obi, he'll pull the secret plans to make him at least pay to retrieve with Rose. Justin's going to go ahead and pay the 3 to drain for 2 here. Probably doesn't have a lot to do with all the extra force. Be curious to see whether or not he wants to stick around in front of these 4 guys. I would imagine not. But at the same point in time, if he moves, he lets his opponent retrieve 4 cards. It's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. We see that Tom in his hand has got the point man, so even if there were something like a keep your eyes open, it would likely be canceled. There's the Destroyer Droid killer. That's Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka is completely baller against them because she's immune to permanent weapons. So none of these people can hit her. And neither can Lord Maul or EPP Maul, whichever Maul you happen to be playing in this deck. So pretty much nobody can hit her. And she subtracts 1 from Battle Destiny draws, so you kind of have to outpower her. But if you can't shoot at her, it does make it a little more challenging. Now the Droidicas can pick Leia off here and then sniper her. We will get another 1 force retrieval for initiating the battle. Droidica number 1 will take a shot at Leia. Forget exactly what these guys. These are target a character, total destiny greater than defense value, hit, and you can activate a force. So she's defense value -2, so she's defense value 3. So you just got to draw 4 to hit her. But hitting her isn't necessarily... Oh, ouch. He misses with both of them. Hitting her isn't necessarily required. It's really just making sure you fire at her twice to get the extra power bonus, which she does. Light side just draws a 1. That's just going to kill a droid. That's unfortunate. I'm sure he was hoping to draw a 5 or something to get rid of more of them. And I'll make him redraw it. Probably redraw it into a 4. No, it's a 3. Which gets -1 by Ahsoka into a 2, which both of those guys are immune to. But he does lose the battle here, so dark side will lose a droid. Light side's got to lose 3 cards. They opt to lose Leia. And we'll see if Obi moves over to back up Ahsoka. Or how he wants to do this. He's got to move those 2 away. He's shield busted here, so he can't play aim high. He draws. He doesn't move Obi over it. Wow. Okay, so he must have a Hoojix. Tom opts not to retrieve either. He's going to do it now. It's curious. I would have thought he would have done it maybe before the turn started. So he sends a 5 used and then retrieves 4 cards. Puts a 3, 5, 4, 6 together. Alright, so Honor of the Jedi is stopping, but I feel like that's not supposed to work that way, and that's a jump bug. One of you guys in the chat confirm that, just for people who might be watching this later. I feel like that was discussed on the forums, and it was decided that Honor is not supposed to work against a stunning move. Let's see if I can look it up on my phone real quick. I feel like that was in the rules forum not too long ago. We'll see who's still awake and who just left their computer on. Let's go to page 2 real fast. Honor of the Jedi. Watto can be reduced. A valuable hostage cannot be reduced. Costs cannot be reduced. You lose 2 to make something happen is the cost. So yes. So that is a bug that needs to get reported, which looks like it was reported about a month ago, but it has not been fixed yet. Okay, so that's a loophole that needs to get fixed and should not work there. I don't know if either player knew about that. Certainly can't see anything going on here. Apparently there's also another bug with a stunning move. When you take a card out of your force pile, it doesn't shuffle either. Well, that's just all kinds of double broken. All right, so both sides are getting an unfair advantage. Light side is not losing 2 force when they should be, and dark side is basically getting to peek at their entire force pile, and it's not getting shuffled after the look. So hopefully the Jump team, if any of you are watching, will be made aware of this and will get to work on trying to fix that. All right. Back to the action. I'm just going to keep a little tally here of how many times that this actually comes up. How many times does Justin reduce force? Now, at the same point in time, it's not like it's like Watto where he would just lose the force. Justin could just say, take the card, I don't care. So it's kind of hard to figure out intent here, and even if I were trying to assess a penalty or anything like for the event, I don't even know that I could, because I'm sure if you asked Justin, he'd be like, just let him take the card, I don't care. Whatever it was supposed to be, that's fine. I don't think he's trying to... Because Watto, you can do it, so I'm sure he's assuming it's the same thing and may not be aware that there's a separate ruling. And, you know, Tom certainly didn't say anything about it when he sent me the game link, so I don't know that he may have been aware of it either. So the first shot at Obi misses. Obi swings back. O switch off gets played, which then gets grabbed. Here comes shot number 2. That's going to add the 5 power. That also misses. He's going to rescue. Tom's tired of seeing that card, so he's going to go ahead and grab it finally. Now Justin's down 9 power right now. He just needs to draw. There's a 4. Hey, it's a wounded warrior. He's going to make him redraw it. Oh my goodness, is that Chris Schoenthal? That can't really be Chris Schoenthal. He doesn't watch streams. Does he type in all caps too? And he misses yet again. after a mystery guest. All right, so destinies get drawn. Light side loses by 8, which is exactly what Obi covers and forfeit. Certainly could have gone a lot worse if Tom had managed to actually get a destiny draw through. He would have played Wounded Warrior, which for those of you unfamiliar with it, character's power 0 may not apply ability towards drawing battle destiny. So Obi would have been 0 in that battle and no battle destiny, uh, and it would have been 17 to 0. So he would have been losing Obi plus 9 cards, or a Hujix. Tom's going to point man. I'm sure he's going to take the Newt Gunray. Yep. He uses once per game to take after her from the Fanfare Shield. So when his opponent force drains him, he'll just slap down on one of those sites, and then he'll move his pile of guys over and take over that site, and then get 4 cards back, and just keep the cycle continuing, because it's an immediate effect, so it just keeps going around and around and around. After her is always an interesting card, especially in a match play format, because getting 4 cards back is always pretty strong. And then because it's an immediate effect, like we said with Fanfare, and if you happen to have it a way to get multiple Battle Destinies in a turn, that's pretty exciting stuff too. Because you add 1 to each draw. So if you can draw 3 or 4 Destiny, whether through guys who have texts like the droids do and Newt Gunray does, or interrupts like I have you now and things like that, maul strikes, whatever. All right, and here come a pile of guys. Now this deck is typically light on space, so Justin does get his system going. He's going to get the tandem with Poe up there. If he gets a second guy up there, you can increase the drain. But for right now, it's just a drain of 1. But he gets around battle plan, so he can drain for free. But here comes Tom with another droid army, and we'll get a Newt Gunray as well. I think you got to take the first shot at Rey here, try and hit her, and then try and pull off the sniper to get her out of the battle. She's defense value -3 to a minimum of 3, so she is a 3. And he keeps drawing 3s. None of these guys are +1. You need the good P59 or P60, the guys who have the bonus here. Yep. So she's going to swing a Newt Gunray. And he's going to get hit. And then I'm sure we're going to see a sorry about the mess blaster proficiency combo take him out of the battle. Oh, just barely. Yep, there's the sorry about the mess. So Newt goes away. And he loses the extra destiny draws. And then the sorry about the mess gets retrieved because it's completing the action of Rey hitting the character. Now he's going to shoot at Rose, which is going to get canceled by the female interrupt that we saw in the Old Allies game. I think I can handle myself. Now he's got a perimeter scan to play a defensive shield to get the aim high to slow down the retrieval. But he did get the power bump, which is pretty important to kind of even things out. That's going to hit Rose. Not that he doesn't have 2 or 3 more, I'm sure. Oh, it doesn't increase her defense value. At least Jump doesn't increase her defense value. He is going to sniper to take Rose away, so Rose then can't forfeit Finn to the used pile. It's not really changing the power forfeit of the battle much, but it is stopping the Finn loop a little bit. So I can get behind that play. That seems solid. And there's that P59 that I'm sure he'd love to have in his hand right about now. Oh, and there's a 5. 5 gets 2 droids because they all forfeit for 4. So 2 droids die. Finn dies for real this time. And then Tom, I'm sure, will have to slide a couple of droids over. Yep. And he's going to bring P60 as well. That might actually let him hit people. I guess he's going to bring them all. Take them all. And he can draw a card. It's a masterful move combo that he doesn't really need right now. Now, the droidicas fire for free, and you activate a force if you hit the guy. The regular destroyer droids, you have to pay a force to shoot. Alright, so we just verified Justin's reserve deck, and it was just all red cards. So he's going to go for big air here. Here comes Obi again. See if he has anybody else. There's Lando. Now he'll take a peek, set some destinies up, or possibly just move a bad card or just get himself an extra force to work with so he can deploy a 5th guy or girl. Nope, he's just going to set some destinies up. Okay. So he's going after P60 first. He's kind of the best character to work with because he shoots at +2. He shoots at +2. And since everybody's capped at 3, it's pretty hard to miss with P60. Does he have another sorry about the mess? Nope, Rey's going to retrieve one. So Rey shot first, so P60 is going to have to P60 is going to shoot at Lando. I almost would have considered shooting at Obi, but maybe he was tracking that around and knew what was there. That would. They're all defense value 3. So he's going to sniper to take Lando out of the battle, removing the 2nd battle destiny. And then he'll get a bunch of additional weapon shots. He does get to reduce the 2 force loss with honor, so that worked out okay. 2 solid swings, hits a droid, forfeit 0 instead of forfeit 4. Given the number of 5s and 6s in his deck, okay, maybe snipering Lando does make more sense. There's the 6 that's going to get redrawn. He was going after Rey here. That's going to hit. And he does get the power bonus because he fired the weapon. He's going to activate a force, which he can then spend with this droid to fire his gun, so he can shoot at Obi. He can't shoot Ahsoka, so he'll just get a couple of shots at Obi. He gets him with the first one. And none of these guys are forfeit 0. And he does get to keep reducing the forced loss. He's going to move a Destiny around, whether it was a good one or a bad one, or whether he wants to just try and activate a force or two. Nope, he's just going to keep shooting. Maybe he's trying to get to a better card, or maybe he's just trying to see more cards so he can then set up his tracking for his next turn, knowing where everything is. So Darkseid draws a 5, which is going to clear 2 more droids, plus the 2 that were already hit and forfeit 0. So 1 droid is going to get to live and have nowhere to go. And nobody to come help him. He does have a Gick, though, so that'll certainly come into play. And Justin will probably draw some more cards here at the end of the turn. And it'll be 1 droid against Ahsoka. Let's try and speed this up a little bit. Allstars will continue to draw a couple cards, rebuild his hand a little bit, put himself into a good position, especially with Tom having such a pretty small hand here. And now his reserve deck is going to get shuffled. So all that tracking from all that shooting he just did, right out the window. He will pay to drain for 1 because, well, he's got nothing else to do except move and draw. So might as well cause a little force loss before you do. He tries to deploy a droid, but only the regular destroyer droids were in there. None of the droidicas were there. So he moves the 1 droid over. He's just going to move the 3 over and then the 1 to there, and then see if his opponent drains him, and then play after her on the site, and then move the 4 guys back, would be my guess. Justin probably won't drain here. I'll just drain in space. Because he knows he's got the after her, because he saw him pick it back up with fanfare. Self-destruct mechanism. Lose a droid to cancel all attrition against you at same site this turn, or retarget an opponent's weapon to one of your droids at same site as target. If droid is hit, use original target's forfeit number. This is how you keep Nute Gunray alive. He does get drained with Ahsoka. Okay. Well, it was a drain of 2, so you can't blame him for that. Now we'll see if he can back it up. He's going to Jedi Lev to retrieve somebody. He does have 2 battlegrounds to get around Coward. He's going to take Solo into hand from the Lost Pile. If he's got another Rey to go with it, he could drop the 2 of them with Ahsoka. That would be pretty strong. Yep. Peek at the cards, figure out what he wants to put where. He's going to activate them and then go to draw phase and then draw the cards he just put there. It's the other thing too with this deck where, you know, knowing when to stop activating so you can then move the card, spend the force you want to spend, then move the card off your reserve deck into your force pile so then you can then draw it. Just a lot of timing things. 565, looking in that reserve deck, seems pretty good. He finally has a P-59 in hand, so he'll drop him and he'll docking bay transit all those other guys over. Tom's starting to fall behind in this game. Oh, he's just going to go for it all by himself. He's going to battle. He's going to shoot Rey. She's going to get hit. Honor's going to kick in to cap the force loss. So he's just going to waste the Gick here. But he does pick Rey off. Justin will get to retrieve a card, though, when he hits the droid here. And Rey is not going to be forfeit 0. So we'll see if he's got another Jedi's Resilience to take her back into hand and then redeploy her. He'll draw the 6 for Battle Destiny. Oh, he draws the other 5. And since Justin just verified, he knows he doesn't want to make him redraw it. $18 plus, and probably another 5. 3. So 21-9. It's the droid and the Gick. And Rey dies. Let's see if he can. Obviously, he's going to move. There's the Resilience. So she's just going to come right back. Didn't really get anywhere with that. Except he just spent a Gick. I guess I can see how it can also make him feel a little bit safer because he doesn't have to worry about a possible second sorry about the mess here. If Rey was still there, she could have picked off a droid with the sorry about the mess. I mean, she can still come down, battle, and hit one, and then sorry about the mess him. But Tom's starting to run out of droids here. There's only a couple left in his deck. We'll see if he's got any. Oh, another Jedi Lev. He's going to get Obi back. Rose. Okay. Rey's going to go over there. Rose will go over there. He'll move Solo and Ahsoka away. And there's Leia with them. Yep. And he will just slide them back to the other Coruscant site. So Justin knows he's in the lead. He's just going to coast to the finish line. He doesn't have to pay to drain. He's got Rose to get a bit of retrieval. I mean, his opponent can send after her used here and get some cards back. But he doesn't. Then all he can really do is just chase. He doesn't have enough force left to really deploy anything on top of that afterwards. So he's not really. And the 4 cards he just retrieved this turn are the cards that he's probably going to end up losing to drains the next turn. So he just kind of drags things out a little bit. Tom will pay to drain, make Justin at least lose a card from hand. We'll see if he wants to split the droids up here and try and trap. Nope, he's just going to document transit these guys over, flip the objective back, so at least he gets the 1 ping damage going again. But he's getting drained for 3 on the ground and 1 in space. Which are exactly the 4 cards he just retrieved. Well, 4 force he just retrieved, not the same cards. Rose gets to retrieve 1, so you're looking at 23, 24, plus 4 in hand is 28 to 18 right now. Justin's going to send Holdo used to take Finn. And then he'll peek at the top 2 cards, and he's going to put them both on his reserve deck. So now he knows he's got 5 pretty good destiny there. He's going to use Jin Urso to block that drain. He'll battle at the other site, retrieve for initiating the battle. So he's, again, just finding ways to just, keep cycling cards back and keep running his opponent out of characters, because he knows Tom's pretty low on characters. He's seen most of the cards. He saw the cards Tom just retrieved. He knows there's 12 to 14 droids in the deck, and if he's been counting along, he knows about how many of them have hit the table already. So the more of these guys he gets off the table here, he just set his destinies up, so all he has to do is draw 5, and he clears both of them. Ahsoka can't get shot, so he shoots Solo twice. He does subtract 1 with the Dark Time to make the destiny from a 5 into a 4. It's only an opponent's draw you can redraw, so you can't redraw your own. So Solo dies, and the Droideka dies. Curious that Tom didn't bring Insidious Prisoner with him. I don't know why that didn't follow. Because he controlled the site at that point in time. Maybe he just forgot to move it and bring it with him. I missed that. And now Justin will retrieve with Walkling and get Solo back at the end of the turn, who will then end up on the bottom of his deck, so he can then send Finn used to get him back. He can spread out if he wants and just send Finn over, or Solo over here somewhere. He can drop Solo and just kill P-59. Tom, like we said, Tom's running low on characters. Drain at 2. This is a drain of 1 up in space. Here comes the after her one more time. Sure. It's the only thing that's keeping Tom in the game here, but he's fallen behind pretty significantly. And Justin's looking to put a big 20-plus score up on the board yet again. These games are a little bit more lopsided in round number 2 than some of the games we had in the first sequence. Oh, Leia's got a blaster. Look out. There's a solo in front of P59. All right, so where are we going to battle first? We're going to battle with solo first to retrieve one with Leia, of course. Justin's trying to run his diff up, which is absolutely what you do in a match play tournament. You absolutely do. These are the things that you do, the steps, the sequences that you take to squeeze every extra card you can. You're not losing any force to get hit because of honor. He draws a 6. So even playing the Wounded Warrior doesn't really make much of a difference at this point. He just has to try and just save it and just hope there's an opportunity to squeeze it in somewhere. And both guys die. No overflow. No no damage. Just both characters die. Now he'll retrieve and get solo back. Rey will take a swing at somebody, hit them, retrieve one more card. He'll play the Lana combo to keep the forfeit from being reduced. So that way he may only have to lose a droid, but Leia's, I'm sure, going to shoot one of these guys here in a second. Take him out of the battle. Yeah. Tom opted not to shoot. That droid's hit and immediately lost. Well, not hit, just immediately lost. That's the beauty of Leia's gun. So Tom doesn't shoot me because he's got the 6 on top. Oh, because he doesn't want his opponent to redraw it. Never mind. If he shoots, his opponent will make him redraw it, and then he won't get Battle Destiny. So Justin's going to make him redraw here. I forgot the other part of Legend, the redraw text. Yep. So he draws a pair of 5s. That will get rid of Rey. Oh, he's going to lose Leia instead. Okay. I would have thought he would have lost Rey and kept Leia around with the gun. This is kind of the situation. Will he break Jin's? He can't break Jin's cover because it's only during. He's in the wrong phase here. He is going to move away. This is the last window that I think Tom's got for this Wounded Warrior thing. He's got these 2 droids left in battle. He's got to hit Rey and play Wounded Warrior on her to make her power 0 and not apply ability. So then he doesn't get a Battle Destiny. Which which would really just make Justin end up having to draw a bunch of cards to redeploy more guys. Or actually, he could just wait and patiently just drain 1 in space and 2 with Ahsoka. So she's hit. Here comes the Wounded Warrior. So Rey is now power 0. And Lightside does not get a Battle Destiny. Her forfeit's still going to cover. He's going to shoot Rose. He'll make him redraw it. So then that uses up his last card. So he has no Battle Destiny. But he does get the power bump from shooting twice. So it's 11-1. So Lightside loses by 10. Those 2 guys forfeit for 9. Rey does still get the swing, though. So she'll get to retrieve 1 last card here for hitting the droid. And then he'll lose the battle by 10, which will be those 2 guys and a card. Presumably either the card he just retrieved or... he's only got 1 card left in hand, so... But... he's going to use the Hujix to cancel the 1 remaining battle damage. I guess just because he can. I guess Justin went too far and forgot to force drain. He passed right past his control phase action. I guess they discussed it, and Tom agreed to the revert to let him go back. And did our link replay freeze? Sometimes that happens, unfortunately, with when there's reverts involved. Yep. It looks like the replay link froze. Justin's got about 30 cards left here. He's going to drain for 3. I don't know what else he's planning on doing here. I'll have to get an official number from him afterwards because the replay link froze when they reverted on turn 11. All right, so we don't have the outcome of this game. I'm going to predict that Allstars wins by, I don't know, 27, 28. Seems like a reasonable number. But we'll find out for sure and get that posted on the site. That's going to wrap up our replay links for tonight, and that was about 3 hours. Wow. So thank you guys very much for staying with us and tuning in or popping in and out. And we'll try and get some more of these games, get some links. I know Silver Glen and Shaw played the other day as well. I think Justin did send me that link, but I haven't been able to pull it over yet because he slacked it to me. But we'll get those up along with a couple other games maybe later this week. But that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you guys very much for tuning in and watching all of these games. And it looks like Team USA lost a whole match, but they look to be ahead in 2 other matches. So looks like this thing's going to keep going back and forth for some time, and we'll find out who the best team is within the next week. So you guys take care. Have a great night. Thanks for watching. Be sure and renew your subscriptions if you haven't already, and may the force be with you.